Welcome back to part 2 of the training videos for hosts. We're so glad that you're with us and you are continuing this process. We got lots of resources for you. And Allie, help us out a little bit here and help people understand the first meeting.
Yeah, so we want to take all the effort out of it for you as much as possible. We want to make this easy. We want to give you as many details as you could possibly want. And that starts with, how do you invite the people to come and gather at your home or wherever you've chosen to gather? And that starts with a simple group text. Raise your hand if you have group text. Yeah, we know how to use these, but we'll include a sample for you. It's going to say something like, hey everyone, we're meeting in next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at this address. Looking forward to seeing you all. Then you show everyone's responses. You can see like everybody's excited to join the group, but just shooting out those simple details helps everybody feel comfortable about visualizing what that experience is going to be. Again, you can probably figure that out for yourself, but just in case, we want to throw you an easy one.
Super simple.
Yeah, that's it.
I think the whole process is, it makes such a great group when everyone knows, hey, all these folks are coming and this is a week ahead.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're trying to accomplish. Now, as you look at the first meeting, one of the things that's important is to have some snacks for people to connect with, both before the group as they're coming in and then after the group. Now, I tend to like, so if I'm invited to your group, it might be Rice Krispie treats, then chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats, and then caramel covered Rice Krispie treats, and then some nuts on the side. And if you're really healthy, you could add celery and carrots and that kind of stuff, or you could have cheesecake, that kind of thing. So oftentimes
That's the really healthy option,
yes,
the cheesecake?
Yes. So it's just an opportunity to say, hey, people feel more comfortable when they've got a little coffee or they've got a little water or something, and they've got a little snack to be munching on. And really at the beginning of the group and at the end, people just like to talk with, hey, I've got a little thing to munch on and that kind of stuff. And so you want to make sure that people feel like comfortable. It's not, I'm sitting in the room and what are we going to do and when do we start? It's very relaxed and that kind of stuff.
I don't text my friends and say, hey, would you like to go meet me at a table somewhere and just sit there and stare at each other? Like, we usually share coffee or cheesecake or
exactly.
Rice Krispie treats.
Rice Krispie treats covered in chocolate or whatever.
Popular item.
I think that the issues for me as I start a group is typically I'll have it meet in one room and I'll have the snacks in another. So I'll say, hey, we're going to be sitting in here, and then let's just go over to the kitchen and grab some snacks, and that helps people because there's a little movement involved for guys anyway. So, but that might be helpful just to think through what are the snacks going to be. Now, then the other idea is as you connect with people or as people come to the group, you make them feel very welcome. So glad you're here, that kind of thing. And then when everybody's sitting down, you say, we're going to just introduce each other. And so my go-to question is, give me a 60-second bio on you so that everybody knows 60 seconds worth of information about you. And that's always interesting. Husbands, wives say different things. Morgan, you have some interesting questions you usually ask.
Yeah, we'll have icebreaker questions each week for you, but on your first night, I think an easy go-to question is just, tell us one thing about you that no one really knows. Like, what's something unique about you that someone doesn't know?
Good.
Mine is much more serious.
Oh, you're much deeper than the rest of us, yes.
I'm very deep. I would ask, what is your favorite cereal?
Yes.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
Yes.
That always gets a response.
Yeah,
like, I hate that kind and I like this kind.
It is. It's a passionate debate every time.
Absolutely. So as you can see, these videos are here to help you. Morgan, wrap it up and help us in this second part with what they need to know.
So on your first night, you're gonna come in, you're gonna have some snacks, you're gonna do a little icebreaker question, and then on the first night, we have an actual short video that you can show. It's a new group intro video, and it just goes over some basics of expectations of what to expect in the group going forward, and it just lays some really clean, healthy, foundational ground rules to get started with your group. So we're gonna pause with the orientation video right now, and we're gonna show you that new group intro video, and then we'll meet you back at the end of it to wrap up the host orientation video.
Hello and welcome to your first group. We're excited that you're here. We want to help you have a great group. And my name's Gil. This is
Morgan.
And I'm Allie.
Yep.
And we're here to help you just understand some of the basic things that make for a great group. So Allie, help us understand and help everyone.
Yeah, so we just want to cover a couple of things so it's not awkward for you guys, because it's not awkward for us.
No.
Some things that might help your group go well. And we've learned this because we've been in groups ourselves. We've gotten feedback from a ton of groups. The first one is create a safe environment. As easy and as tempting as it might be to be sarcastic or playful with one another, you don't quite know how that's going to land.
You sarcastic? It wouldn't happen.
Not me, not me, but this guy. So just be careful with how you respond to what people are sharing. Create a safe environment for them to say what they need to say, and also keep it confidential. You don't need to share what happens in the group with anybody that's not in the group, because the safer the environment and the more confidential, the better content you're going to be able to share with each other and the closer you're going to become as a group. So those are two really important things to start. The last one is respect people's time. Make sure that you have a clear start and end time to your group. I know in my group, we set an alarm on our phones that just goes off at 8 o'clock when the meeting needs to be done. So no one's
good.
feelings
That's
are
really
hurt
good, yeah.
when they're like, I'm sharing about my son. And then you're like, oh, sorry, the alarm. But just whatever it's going to take, but just try to respect each other's time, because you don't want to end up going way over every week and then people stop coming. And finally, create a discussion that involves everyone. Sometimes somebody is easier and freer in sharing, and so they end up talking a lot or answering every question. One of the things that I've done, I don't know if you guys have any other hacks or tips on how to help that, but is just to say, hey, everybody's going to go around and answer this question, and start with the person who's least likely to answer.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
they for
that's
sure
great.
get a word in. So yeah, that's
Awesome.
a big piece for us. Any other tips you guys?
Yeah.
feel
I think that if you have someone who is an over talker, and some of you know who you are, you need to let other people talk. If you're an under talker, then the leader probably needs to call on them and say, Morgan, tell us what you think, that kind of thing. Share with us some of the things that are going to be helpful.
Yeah, so we're gonna provide you guys with some discussion questions. The first discussion question every week will be an icebreaker question that will make everyone feel comfortable, get the conversation going, make everyone feel like they're getting ready for some more deeper conversation. And then after that, we'll provide you with about 8 to 10 discussion questions on the weekend sermon that covers the scripture. But I think it's important to know that if you didn't make it to church that weekend, it's not a big deal. You're not gonna feel left out or behind. It's on the scripture. Everyone can just read scripture and study it. Also, don't feel pressured to answer all of the questions. It's not a test. You're not being graded. Your group might resonate more with one question and not as much with another question. So just be flexible with your questions. Just kind of go with the flow and see where the Spirit kind of takes you in your conversation. We're not being graded. This is not school.
And I think that it's really important. Your group might find the second question to be so exciting, that's all you get to. And that's wonderful. If you have a great discussion, it might go off in an interesting place. If you're a person who likes to finish everything, don't be too frustrated, because the goal of a group is community and having God be present in the discussion. So that's what real community really is all about. And I want to wrap up this idea that every group really should close in prayer. And you should be able to say, let's just have a prayer time. Now, it could be that you just have one person close in prayer. What I will usually do is I will go around the room and I'll say, I want one prayer request from each of you that has to do with you. I don't want to be praying for your Aunt Mabel's cousin Helen and her hangnail. I want to be praying for you. And then as we go around the room, what do you want me to pray for you about? And then it can be deep or shallow depending upon what you want to do. But it helps the group bond when I know I'm praying for this person who I'm trying to get to know. And I'm trying to pray for this person. If you don't have anything that night, just say pass. And that means that all of us get the chance to pray whatever we think you need. And that helps in some ways. So we are excited that you're a part of this group. It's going to be a great time. We do want you to work through the process of caring for one another and learning how that looks. Now we want to throw it back to you to get the group started with some wonderful icebreaker questions. You might ask, what would you like to do if you could have $1 million? You could, which we all would like to do. You might go with something about give us a 60-second bio, or Morgan's question, which is always tell us something about yourself that we don't know. Enjoy the beginning of the group and then let it flow and realize this is an opportunity for God to grow you and to grow the community. Okay, that's the video that you're going to show at the beginning of your group. It's going to be a great opportunity to establish some ground rules. It really helps make a great group. Don't forget to watch the next video that we have coming up that's going to tell you how to invite wonderful people and fill your group with really life-giving people and opportunities.